disrupted.
America that I thought weird thing to happen.
Hello, one and all. Welcome to this edition of Kitz Corner. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Folks, I don't really pay much attention to sports. I don't really watch it. I mean, sometimes I'll throw on a hockey game or, catch up on maybe tennis. I don't know, something like that. I know back in college, my roommate was really into NASCAR, and I watched a couple of the races with him. That was about it. I don't really get into sports. I don't really understand the whole, I get the point, but it's not my forte. It's not my forte. Um, some things I do, play myself, but I don't tend to really watch it. Especially with golf, if it's on, maybe I'll watch a little bit of it, but I'm not dead set on, watching a full game, especially hours long event. But I knew about this, these two rival companies, the PGA and this LIV Golf, which is apparently the Saudi-backed kingdom empire golf regime that's trying to take over the entire sport and industry of golf. Well, now apparently there's a merger happening between the Saudi-led kingdom terrorist organization group that's taking over golf and the PGA. They used to be rivals, and the PGA used to hated LIV Golf, and there was this, butting heads back and forth. But now they're just going to merge because, capitalism always innovates and creates competition. We should not be investigating the effects of, unfeathered capitalism. We should not be questioning or critiquing it, right? We should just let mergers happen, let monopolies stand until the point where everything's a by and large and we live like the Wall-E movie. We shouldn't be curious or having concerns about that. But apparently the Senate is. The Senate's having concerns about this merger in the White House, and they did a full investigation on this. So apparently they're opening investigation. The Senate's opening to investigation on the PGA Tour's deal with Saudi Arabia-funded LIV Golf. The U.S. government will examine the proposed deal between the PGA Tour and the Public Investment Fund. That's apparently the kingdom's little, money bag into investing into this industry that they call the Public Investment Fund. How nice. Putting a fresh coat of paint on the evil, despicable ways that they have done. No investigation until now. So it says Richard Blumenthal has opened investigation into the PGA Tour's proposed deal with Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund announced last Tuesday. Blumenthal, chairman of the predominant subcommittee on investigations, has requested documentation from the PGA Tour and its commissioner, Jay Monahan, to determine the legality. I don't know why I can't pronounce that. Of the organizations coming together to control the game of professional golf. While few details about the agreement are known, the investment fund's role as the arm of the Saudi government and the PGA Tour's sudden and drastic reversal of positions concerning LIV Golf raised serious questions regarding the reasons for and terms behind the announced agreement, Blumenthal wrote in a request. The deal struck between the PGA Tour and the PIF, the financial backers of LIV Golf, put an end to an all-legitimate litigation between the two parties. The PGA Tour was reportedly $50 million in the hole with legal fees, and the agreement quickly provided relief from such spending. This comes at a time when the U.S. Department of Justice has already investigated the PGA Tour for antitrust practices. So hold on. An antitrust lawsuit is supposed to break up mergers and monopolies. That was my understanding of it. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a litigation expert. But the whole purpose of an antitrust suit is to break up companies that merge together. and do malfeasance and malpractices on its consumers, on its customers, and people within the company. That's the whole point of why there was antitrust lawsuits back in the day. There's not many now because all the companies that existed how many years ago have merged all together. Now we have like, only 5 media companies that control all the media of the world. And so on and so forth. We have these monopolies that are continuing to expand and develop and engulf all the other companies because unfeathered capitalism creates that competition that we love so much about. You got to trust the free market on this. But an antitrust lawsuits on the PGA, they're going to solve it by having a merger with their rivals. This is a brain buster to me. My head is going circles, and this is, again, I don't follow much of golf, but considering the fact that I know a bit or two about legal practices, it's just, this is so absurd. So no wonder they're trying to investigate this and how ridiculous this sounds, that the PGA Tour that has a bunch of lawsuits on their hands and trying to break up the PGA in an antitrust lawsuit is going to be solved by the Saudi kingdom. The Saudi kingdom that wants to globally invest and take over and dominate over professional golfers. I'm lost with words on this situation. But apparently one person is okay with this. This guy, Jack Nicklaus, is on board with historic PGA Tour LIV Golf merger. He says it's good for the game of golf. But here's the funny part. Here's the even funnier part. Nicklaus previously said that he didn't consider LIV golfers part of the game anymore. So this is a guy who demonized professional golfers that went towards this rival gang, the LIV Golf tournament and the Saudi-backed kingdom. He demonized those people by saying that they're traitors, that they're not in part of the whole tradition of golf, the whole spirits of the game. He demonized them, but now he's saying that's good. Goes to show you that people can easily be bought and manipulated. Just how much is he getting paid to say that it's good for the game of golf? Good for the game of golf. That two of your biggest rivals that you used to butt heads and demonize each other is now going to be bought together in this monopoly that's just going to make golf even worse. It's just so insane. Here's what even the New York Times is saying on this. Saudi Arabia's LIV Golf deal is a triumph that transcends the sport. Discover the values of independent Times journalism today. This is in the New York Times. This is in the New York Times saying that this amazing, miraculous golf deal is going to be better. Better for the players, better for the viewers, better for the spectators. We don't know how, but we're just going to say it's better. Holy crap. Why not just, Amazon just buy out golf? Why don't we just go into that territory, or Microsoft or Facebook or whatever big giant BlackRock? I'm sure they've already have investments in golf, so they might as well just buy the whole sport, because apparently it's not about the game anymore. It's about making money. Which is why it's just an absolute sham. And like I said, maybe this is the reason I don't watch sports. Because it's all a corporate sludge fund conglomerate distraction. It has nothing to do with the actual physical game. And, it's painful. It's painful. It goes to show, like, even with the NFL, it's not even about the sport anymore. It's not even about football anymore. It's about how many advertisements they can shoved down your throat, or the American patriarchy that they show every time a game starts with the fighter jets and the national anthem, which they didn't do until about 2008. They didn't have all this, this kind of motion of the national anthem until about 2008, when the military decided, hey, we need to invest in the NFL because young viewers that are watching the NFL are going to get sucked into our messaging and our propaganda that hopefully they'll enlist. This subliminal messaging that we're going to transcend into professional football. Just like every other sport. And now the military is getting involved with esports. Because now they want computer nerds. It's not the jocks that, toss around the pigskin anymore. They want the computer nerds. Because they're the wave of the future for killing, destructing, destroying, and slaughtering their brothers and sisters all around the world. But here's the interesting part, and this is probably where the backlash is going to lead to. Because this investigation is going to open up some interesting secrets of the Saudi kingdom. Maybe we'll actually find out if they purposely did kill Jamal Khashoggi, the Washington Post columnist. We know that they did, but the Saudi kingdom continues to deny, and they just buy out the U.S. government into investigating the murder of their own journalists. As Donald Trump even said, when the actual incident happened and reporters came out and said, "Oh my God, they killed one of our journalists. They killed one of our own reporters. Aren't you going to do something about it?" What did Donald Trump do? Well, it's about the business. It's about the business. We got to continue on with the oil. It's about the business. We can't ruin the business and focus on one person. It doesn't matter if it's him. It doesn't matter if it's anybody or anybody else in the world. People don't matter to the government. It's about corporate business. Because who runs the government? Corporations. And when corporations merge together with the government, what's that word that people use? And it's a political regime, and it's about authoritarianism and total chaos and control. I believe it's called fascism. When corporate collaboration with the government transcends into tyranny against its own people. That's what Mussolini even said. And he was a known fascist. He delegated on fascism, and that is what he defines as fascism. When the corporate estate aligns itself with the government to oppress its own people. And that is what we see all around the world. And this merger and this investigation, which I probably guess is going to have a few plot holes because certain politicians are going to be bought out by the Saudi government. We already know this. They're already bought and paid for by Saudi Arabian officials, by the kingdom. We know this off by all the known investigations on their money laundering. We know about this. But now, with this investigation, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting because now this golf case could open up a lot on this regime. And methinks that there's going to be a lot of drama. And maybe this is where I should start paying attention more to golf. But it's nice to know at least a Canadian golfer won the Canadian Open. At least that's what I heard. That's as much as I know. I don't know his name. I don't know where he is in Canada, but a Canadian golfer won the Canadian Open since 1955 or 54. 54, I think. At least that's what I've been told. But so this is some sort of scandal, and we'll see where this goes. This is definitely a developing scandal, and be interesting to see how far this goes.